What happens when a guy with no flow, a dick rider for the Yankees, and a dried up sponge start a podcast? You get ballpark motherfucking beef, baby. Roll that music.
Welcome back. Ballpark Beef is back for another episode. How we all doing? I got the man with no flow, dried up SpongeBob, and the Yankee Dick Rider here to talk some baseball tonight. So, I'm not even going to ask how your guys' week was because we had a long conversation off air today and tensions are high. Everyone's fired up. We're going to have a great beefy episode finally. Our name's Ballpark Beef, but I feel like we never have beef. One, because the guy who's above me barely beefs about anything. The other one just caps. So like we kind of just it's like a revolving circle kind of thing. So we're gonna actually have beef today, I think, as long as Nick keeps his energy up, because he had some serious energy earlier and we were very excited, and it's something we've been waiting for him to come through with. So hopefully tonight we have that energy. And that's what I'm hoping for. So let's get right into our teams real quick. Nick, tell us about Alec Burleson and
fuck you. Start about your shitty ass Yankees.
No. Go ahead.
No,
start with
fuck you. We're gonna start from the worst team now to the best.
The Yankees still have the most wins in the league. So we will start with Alec Burleson.
Week by week. You are the worst team out of these three from last week to now. So stop telling me what to do and you start doing what you're supposed to do.
Nick's walking down the street and his balls are about a block behind him.
All right, so the Yankees suck. They flat out suck right now. They'll have the most wins in the league, which is good when you stack wins. You can have, breaks like this where the team has slumps. Every team goes through a slump. We understand that, but this looks bad. These aren't like good losses. These are bad losses. Like these are like getting blown out 17-5. These are like losing to the Mets right now 6-0, and Mark Vientos somehow has 2 home runs. This is getting, just obliterated by good teams and now losing to the Mets. So the Yankees don't look good. The offense looks very stagnant. Garrett Cole looks terrible tonight. His fastball velo hasn't touched above 96, so his elbow is probably falling apart. So the Yankees look really bad right now, and injuries aren't helping. Stanton's on the IL. It's bad. Rizzo's on the IL. Cole probably will be on the IL back after this game with his velo down. He probably has some kind of fatigue in his arm. That'll be another IL stint. So it's not looking good. We traded for JD Davis. I mean, sure. It's not much to it. He's over 3 tonight, I think, with 2 Ks and a ground rule double. Sorry, a grounded to double play. And yeah, man, it's not looking good. They're 3 for 7 in the last 10. Outside of Judge, Volpe, and Soto, the offense has done jack shit. And the rotation isn't doing as well as it used to. The bullpen's hurt. It's just a bad streak right now. And that's all I hope it is. I mean, still have the most wins in the league. So that's as much as I have right now. The Yankees aren't good right now.
What's your take on Vladdy coming to New York?
No.
Just a big flat no?
No.
Continue.
You want an explanation?
No, I just wanted your honest answer, and then we're just going to end the conversation.
Oh, well.
Next topic.
Okay, well, no. He talked. I mean, yeah, a lot of players who have talked shit about the Yankees ended up being Yankees. But Vladdy just has like this thing against Yankees for no reason either. Like, it's not like the Blue Jays and Yankees were ever in a rivalry. Like, the Blue Jays have sucked. They've never been meant anything to the Yankees.
I feel like every team in that division is like a rival, though.
No, like the only real rivalry now is the Orioles. Like the Red Sox, that's dead. That's nothing because the Red Sox aren't competitive.
Dead. They're just not competitive.
And like Vladdy, I don't want Vladdy. He's not like, I don't want him. For a year rental, I think his contract's up this year. No, like the Yankees are if they're gonna suck, just go out sucking, please. Don't make stupid 1-year rentals. Don't fucking do anything stupid. If you're gonna go after someone you have control over. Like, we need a closer. Clay Holmes sucks. He's come down to earth. Nick was talking about he was the best closer in the league about a couple of weeks ago. He sucks. He sucks. Okay, he
Well,
came back to earth.
everyone on your team sucks right now.
He came back to earth. So go get a Mason Miller. You have control. I would pay for Mason Miller. I'm sure he's going to be available. Will he be expensive as fuck? Yes. Will he be worth it? Yes. Go get a Ryan McMahon, third baseman. I'm sure he has control. He's solid. Not Vladdy. Vladdy's going to cost too much. People pay for names. It's like in fantasy football. People pay for names. He's not worth it. You can get probably Ryan McMahon and Mason Miller for the price you paid for Vladdy. That's my point. Fuck Vladdy. I don't want Vladdy.
Well, there you have it, folks. Jonathan does not want Vladdy on the New York Yankees. We're going to move on to the second best team in this podcast, the St. Louis Cardinals right now. They are 9-3 in their last 12, 4-game winning streak. They took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs, lost 2 heartbreaking games to the Marlins in the bottom of the 9th inning, and then 4 in a row, 3 against the Giants, and we won 1 against the Braves. Take those 2 heartbreakers out, and they're on a 8-game winning streak. The Cardinals pitching is not doing fantastic, but right now the bats are hot.
Wait, hold up.
What?
Hold up.
Let me hear this.
Hold the fuck up.
Yeah.
Did you just say take 2 losses out and they're on an 8-game winning streak? That doesn't make any sense. They're on a 4-game winning streak. You can't just take 2 losses out and say, oh, they're on an 8-game win streak.
I'm saying if they didn't lose those heartbreakers in the bottom of the 9th.
They did.
Okay, well, I said an if.
They did. So they can't be on an 8-game win streak. They're on a 4-game win streak.
The key word was if. Okay? If we had a good bullpen, good closer, those 2 games, and they win, it's an 8-game win streak.
You're using ifs now, but when me and Jimmy use ifs, fuck the ifs.
When do you ever use an if?
If there's any expectations, oh my God.
That's different. I said if they did it.
That's different. If the expected batting average was realistic, he'd be a stud. Same thing.
Sure, whatever. I mean, I used an if.
Okay, continue.
I used it for 2 games. You guys use it for their whole fucking career.
Use it for a season.
I used it for 2 games.
Okay.
Anyway, back to what I was saying before you cut me off. Brendan Donovan and Alec Burleson both hitting over 450. Matt Carpenter, who came out of nowhere, is hitting 368. Mason Wynn, 333. I mean, when the stars are not doing what they're supposed to, the young players, they are stepping in. Cardinals pitching is averaging 4 runs a game, and they're 9-3 in the last 12. So the hitting is wonderful right now. Batting at 300 as a team. Currently 3 games over 500 and only 5 back of the division. Look out for Cardinal baseball.
Jimmy is currently frozen right now, so I don't have much to say. The Cardinals are playing well. I don't have anything to argue besides the 8-game win streak. If Jimmy, when we get you back, we'll talk about the Mets. I'm sure he's very excited about how the Mets are doing right now. They are, I think, 7-3 in their last 10.
Don't spoil my man's intro, brother.
I'm trying to keep this going while
we can keep it going.
Glitch.
My question to you is, while we're waiting for Jimmy, with the Cardinals playing well, still only pitching is what we go for, or you think we still need a bat or 2?
You always got to go both. If you're going for the playoffs, you need both. It's not like every position is strong. Who plays DH?
Right now, I think it's Matt Carpenter who's having a good last 2 weeks.
That Linsanity run's going to end. You know this. So you got to go. You got to get another bat and you got to get a pitcher. But the issue with the market this year is so many teams are in contention. There's not going to be much sellers. There is not going to be much sellers, which sucks for teams who want to buy at the deadline. Like if you look at the NL standings, if you look at the AL standings, not many teams really suck. Like a lot of teams are still kind of in contention. So it's going to be a big buyer's market, not much of a seller's market. Jimmy, we're just talking about what the Cardinals should do, catching you up. You had a little glitch there, but
oh yeah. You know what we need? We need a little fundraiser for Ballpark Beef. We need to replace this laptop of mine. I got no flow, and I also got no laptop. That shit just died. So we're back.
You also don't have a mouse.
You need to get a new laptop. So anyone, we're going to start a GoFundMe to get Jimmy a laptop. We'll put that in the description. I actually want to see if anyone donates. So I'm going to make it and just see if anyone donates to Jimmy's Ballpark Beef fund. But yeah, let's Let's hear about the
Please
Mets,
don't.
man. Well, then buy a new laptop, okay?
All right, well, all right. So the Mets. What can we say, baby? We're up. We're up right now. We're 2 games under 500. We're about to split with the Yankees. Probably. We're probably gonna win tonight, and we're probably gonna lose tomorrow. And that's a-okay with me because we haven't lost a series in about a month. So we split. I think the last series we didn't win. We split in wherever the hell we were. We were in London.
Arizona, brother.
We weren't in Arizona.
Oh no, sorry, Philly in London. But
Yeah,
that was
London.
only 2 games.
That was only 2 games. So that was the last time we didn't win a series. We played the Rangers last week and the Cubs and won 2 games in each series. A couple games with some double-digit runs scored. Offense is clicking on all cylinders. Vientos is looking like a bona fide stud, top 10 in the league type of bat. He's not top 10 in the league. Just need to be careful with what I say because I get called out for all my shit, all my expected shit, all my comparisons. I just get roasted in the chat. So I'm just putting that out there. Bonafide stud, Mark Vientos. Love him. He's playing really well. Francisco Lindor, absolutely at the top of at the top of his game. Shortstop in the National League, bar none, and on a direct path to Cooperstown. No cap. Pete Alonso.
You just said he's on the wait. Can you just repeat what you just said? He's on the path of what? I mean, before that, at the top of his peak or whatever you said.
He's at the top of his game and on a direct path to Cooperstown.
At the top of his game, batting 227 in the last week.
He's not batting 227 in the last week. He's hitting 294 in the last week, 921 OPS.
In the last 5 games played, he's batting 227.
Well, I got 7 games, Pop. So Francisco Lindor, again, on his way to Cooperstown. Probably going to go in as a Met, too. Brandon Nimmo, looking like a stud out there. JD Martinez, best signing of the offseason, best value. Pitching's looking good. Kodai Senga is going to start a minor league rehab assignment. We got, what else we got? Starling Marte, little injury there. He's going to go on the IL. We got a little knee injury, so we'll see him back in a month. But we'll hold on to Fort until he gets there, and just let the Mets keep going up. That's all we need to do. Keep going up, keep rising in those standings, get into the wild card, and you never know, baby. I want Steve to buy with his money. I never want him to sell because he could always buy. God, he's got the money to buy.
Seems like the bullpen came back to the face of the earth.
Our bullpen? Oh, yeah. Should we talk about the bullpen?
Go ahead.
I'll talk about Edwin Diaz. So put it out there. He used apparently too much rosin, and the umpire didn't like it. But he's a Met, so he doesn't get told to go wash his hands.
It wasn't just rosin. Come on.
It was
100%.
It was 100% just rosin.
Let me pull up the picture.
Do you know how stupid you'd have to be? And I'll go back to Scherzer, same situation last year. Drew Smith, same situation last year as well. Do you know how stupid you have to be to use something foreign when you know that they are checking you? It'd be like taking a gun into TSA. Like you just don't. You don't. Just right? Like the closer knows he's coming in. Trumpets are blaring. The crowd's going wild. You're going right to that umpire. And at that umpire, he's going to touch your hand.
You're telling me this is sweat and rosin.
I don't even need to see what you're showing because I know the picture.
That's sweat and rosin.
And dirt.
And dirt. That's what you're telling me that is.
Yes.
Didn't the umpire say that he tests feels everyone's hand like 1,000 times and never felt anything like that?
Yes, he did.
He's capping. That's why.
Because Edwin Diaz is fucking cheating.
Wait,
that's why he got a 10-day suspension.
So, obviously, Jimmy is correct where you got to be stupid to be using it. Do you think too much sweat and too much dirt causes a different feel? You think you could be correct where he's only using sweat and dirt, and maybe it was just too much that night, and it felt like something that they've never felt before?
Yes, 100%.
Because I'm looking at this, and he's not even appealing it, so he knows he did something wrong.
No, it's because you're not going to get anywhere. You just delay more time so you can't play. You just take it and you go, just like Scherzer did, just like Drew Smith did last year. I know for certain they weren't cheating because there's fucking umpires checking now. You walk to the person, you give them your hand, you give them your glove, they check your belt, they check your hat, everything. Why would you go out with spider tack? Why would you go out with sunscreen? Why would you do it anymore? It doesn't make sense. I know for certain Edwin Diaz didn't use anything but rosin, sweat, and dirt.
You talked
Did he get extra sticky? Did it get extra sticky that night? Maybe.
Were you the umpire? You're the umpire that you know for
Oh,
certain.
that's my boy.
you,
That's where I learned my slider.
Did you give him a call at the end of the game and ask him what happened?
Yeah, Lo Fuimo. I was like, hey, Pato, what are we doing here?
Okay.
So he told me.
Either way, if he didn't use it or if he did use it, the mixture that he had was illegal, which calls him a cheater.
Stop. It's so discretionary, and it's up to the umpire. Oh, yeah, you're a Yankee. Let's just go into the clubhouse and wash our hands. Domingo Herman and whoever the other guy was it wasn't Clay Holmes. Who was the other reliever that did that?
Why are we making this a Yankees thing? Like,
Because it's the Subway Series, baby. We're going to continue on this train. I got another topic.
okay, and I got many topics, so it's gonna be great.
Wonderful.
What's the number one fail in Mets versus Yankees history? In my opinion, it's Luis Castillo dropping the fly ball.
That hurt. I remember that one.
Jimmy felt that one.
I
felt
watched
that
that live. I saw that. I was like, oh, game's over. Never mind. That was a good one. But let's go into your topics. I just wanted to make that hurt a little bit. We'll continue.
Oh, appreciate that. Obviously really meaningful that you said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Edwin Diaz, not a cheater. Was it humid and maybe like he used a little extra huck on his hands to get a little extra grip? Maybe. But I don't think he's a cheater. And I think whoever gets tossed, other than the shiny neck or the obvious discoloration in their glove, like those types of things, I feel like people who are getting tossed now aren't cheating. It's discretionary and there's always checks and they're just going to boot you. Bullshit. Next topic.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I think he's still a cheater.
I think you're capping. I think you're capping.
No.
The next topic. Get your.
Is this the most wonderful topic that we had all day?
No, I hope he's
Oh,
saving
yeah.
that for last.
Oh, we want to save that for last. I don't have another topic then. Let's go to yours.
Okay. Let's go to yours first, and then we'll go to mine. So just explain this first, and then I'll talk about my rebuttal.
I will preface this by saying that if you look at career stats right now, you cannot compare the two. That's clear and obvious. But a comparison between Derek Jeter and Francisco Lindor. Derek Jeter, first ballot, nearly unanimous Hall of Famer, shoo-in for the Hall of Fame, so many chips, and Lindor will never have that many chips. No problem. I'll concede that anytime.
Lindor won't even
But
have one.
when you look at, I'm not gonna entertain that either. When you look at the stats through their first 9 seasons, Lindor is tracking just like Derek Jeter was tracking to go into the Hall of Fame. Derek Jeter is a unanimous first ballot, almost unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. All you need to do to get into the Hall of Fame is get 75% within the 10 years that you're on the ballot. So, or 5 years, whatever it is. Francisco Lindor is tracking with Derek Jeter, and his stats are very comparable through their first 9 seasons. Lindor is going to be a Hall of Famer.
I don't think they're as close as you think.
They're close.
Jeter had
How are they not close?
400 more hits than him. Jeter has point.
No,
3.4.
9 seasons. You're looking at 10 seasons. He's in his 10th season.
Oh.
You have to look
Well,
through
then-
9 seasons. Lindor hasn't finished the season yet.
I thought he was in the 10th.
Let me read it off here. WAR. Lindor has more WAR than Derek Jeter, 42.7 to 40.4. Games played, nearly identical, 12 more for Lindor. Appearances for Jeter, 200 more hits. Derek Jeter was a hit machine. His average is obviously higher. The on-base percentage is higher, therefore. His OPS is higher. His OPS plus, which is adjusted for the time that you play in, is only 4 points higher. Okay? So in a down offensive environment, Francisco Lindor being in it, he's 4 points behind where Derek Jeter was in his offensive environment. Okay? Our stats go to Lindor. Home runs, RBIs. Stolen bases go to Derek Jeter. All I'm trying to say is, you look at the stats side by side. Yes, Derek Jeter had higher average, higher OBP, more chips, all that kind of stuff. The stuff that you guys like to love up on, especially Nick with the batting average. But Lindor and Derek Jeter are very comparable through 9 seasons. 2 fantastic shortstops, and in my opinion, 2 Hall of Famers.
My thing is, let me chime in right here, Nick. What oh man. So tell me, what is Lindor's playoff stats?
I don't know. Has he even been there?
You want to take a guess? What do you think his
Yes.
batting
Hold on,
average
did you
is?
just hear what he said? Has he ever been there? You're such a big Lindor fan. You don't even know if he's been to the playoffs.
So hold up, Nick. Calm down. If you had to take a guess, what do you think his career batting average is in the playoffs? He's played. He's had 105 at bats in the playoffs. If you had a guess,
Based on the way you're saying, I don't know. I'm going to look at his career batting average. 74. I'm going to go 260.
257.
That's actually really close.
257. 257. Outside of like, what has he done though? What has he done?
No.
Did
I
you
think
just say you asked me
the
one?
more-
You asked me one question, and then you
Fuck
said,
that
"What has he
question.
done?"
That
No,
question sucked.
Because he hasn't done anything in the playoffs.
No. That question sucked. I think the real question is, what did Lindor do before the Mets?
A lot.
Dog.
Yeah, but you don't know anything about that because you ain't start sucking him until he joined the Mets.
I mean, that's his team.
So
I don't
do
care.
you
You
know
don't.
anything
You don't praise. You don't praise a great player just
Hold
because
up.
he's on your
No.
team.
Hold up.
No, John, no. Do you know
Yeah.
anything? Do you know anything about Goldschmidt or Arenado's career before they were with the Cardinals?
No, but I'm not sitting here on the podcast saying, "Oh, this person's a Hall of Famer. This person's stats are compared to this guy." No, I just know they're good. I'm not here trying to make an argument comparing Nolan Arenado to fucking, I don't know, Mike Schmidt. You're over
You know what?
here
You know what?
lobbing
Dried
all
up
over
sponge.
Lindor's cock, and you haven't said one thing to us about him until he became a Met.
You
Dude's
know,
been an
you're
all-star
such.
the whole time.
This is why I need to be on this cast, right? Because you are a dried up sponge and can't come up with topics. Meanwhile, I'm giving the people what they want. I'm coming up with topics.
You're
I'm
giving
making the
dog shit
comparisons.
comparisons. You're comparing
Yeah.
Lindor to Derek Jeter. That's like comparing
Yes.
Jonathan to you in fucking bowling. That's how bad
Thank
it is.
you, but I mean, that's a praise. But regardless, I feel like
This is
you're
what
missing the
makes me
point.
mad. Go ahead.
You're missing the point.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you the biggest Albert Pujols fan?
Because I watched him my whole career.
Because he was a Cardinal. Why are you a fan of
him
why
his
are you
whole career? He
why are you
was
a
a Cardinal
fan?
for 10 out of 21 years.
Why do you like Nolan Arenado? Why do you like Paul Goldschmidt now? Because
Now,
they're Cardinals.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
I like them. Sorry. I like them, but I'm not going on every episode or every day saying, "Oh, you guys see what he did today? He should be in the Hall of Fame." No. You're sucking him ever since he became a Met. You know nothing about
Because-
what he did in Cleveland. You didn't give two fucks
Because
about him.
he's the face of the franchise. Just like John talks about Aaron Judge like he's some like God disciple, and just like how you would talk about Albert Pujols when he was like in his prime. If we did this podcast in 2010,
Hold on. You're telling me, all right, if you if you had to rank, who would be first, Lindor or Judge?
That's not the comparison I'm making. The comparison I'm making is that you talk about Judge just like I talk about Lindor, just like Nick would talk about Pujols in 2010 when he was at his peak. That's my point. You got your guy, so you talk about your guy. Lindor and Alonso are my guys. So yeah, I'm going to come on this podcast and I'm going to sing their praises because I love my team. I'm a diehard fan. I'm dying for some World Series action.
I am okay with you talking about Pete Alonso because the Mets are the only team he played for, just like Judge is the only team he played for. You're sucking Lindor when he came to the Mets in year 7, and he's done shit with the Mets. So all of his good shit is before the Mets. Yeah, he was fucking an all-star shortstop batting .220 with 20 home runs. Whoop-de-doo. How is that good? Please tell me.
He's going to win a Gold Glove. He's going to easily win the NL Gold Glove. Finally, because he's deserved the last 3 years. Who is he going up
against besides Trey Turner?
Well, Trey Turner's a bum now. It's the offensive stats matter in Gold Glove for whatever reason.
What?
Anyway, yeah, it's ridiculous. The voters look at offensive stats. If you're irrelevant offensively, you're not winning a Gold Glove.
That is so stupid.
It's not. It's not cap either. But anyway, I'm gonna continue praising Francisco Lindor because honestly, he changed the face of the game. He changed the face of the team completely. That was the first signing of many moves from, I guess it was 2021 and on, where we started to change the culture. We started to get some studs. Got out of the dumpster from 2015 to 2019. It's exciting, man. I don't know. It's my guy. Like you can't knock me for liking my guy. That's crazy.
Do you have a Lindor jersey?
Homegrown or not? No, I don't have a Lindor jersey.
That's his guy, though.
That's his guy, though.
How many Met jerseys?
Hold up. That is his fucking guy, but he doesn't have his jersey. Make it make sense, Nick. Make sense.
Hold on. How many Met jerseys do you have?
One.
Just one. Okay.
Yep. Heat.
Pete Alonso, right?
Here's another one on the way.
And Jonathan, who was your first? Recently your first Yankee jersey?
Juan Soto. My most recent is Juan Soto.
But I'm saying like before it was a new like kind of like franchise.
Oh, but that doesn't fit your narrative. That doesn't because he got traded. It doesn't.
So you've never had a jersey before Aaron Judge?
Derek Jeter.
There you go. My first jersey was Pujols. Where in 2024 you have a jersey on the way and in the closet, and still Lindor is not coming.
Period.
Still sucking this dude because he's on a Met and he still haven't gotten his jersey in year 4.
And why is that? Why haven't you gotten his jersey?
Because he is.
So
wow.
This is my whole point here. Like, this is his guy. He doesn't even have his jersey. If he loved Lindor, that would be the first jersey. Fuck Francisco Alvarez.
If he loved Lindor, he'd be wearing the jersey during this episode.
If he loved Lindor, he'd be wearing it at his wedding. He doesn't love him. He doesn't. He loves Pete Alonso and Francisco Alvarez. He has their jerseys. Lindor,
because they're official born Mets.
Kick
Not
rocks.
just because there's some superstar that just joined the team 4 years ago.
Whoa,
they're born, raised Mets.
Wow. This is so funny because like you're missing the whole point. You're missing the entire point. Point being, Francisco Lindor is on track to be a Hall of Famer, and nothing I said about him being top of the game, all-star shortstop, Gold Glove winning shortstop this year is wrong. And you guys just continue to bash me that I compared him to Derek Jeter, but now your defense is that I don't have his jersey, so how can I support him? That's insane. That's insanity.
Bro, can we like take out the All-Star game? Like the All-Star game is it doesn't mean anything anymore. Can we like be honest? Like,
what do you mean? Oh, yeah, the All-Star game is literally just your name and that's it. You're an All-Star.
Like, can we like that doesn't mean anything anymore? Can we agree on that?
Or
yeah,
okay.
All-Stars mean nothing.
Lindor's hitting 240 this year. I mean, great, like awesome, right? He plays above average defense and hits 240. Awesome. Is he an all-star? Is he the best shortstop in the NL? No, he's not. Honestly, I'd pick the dude from the Rockies over him to be an all-star if we're going by stats this year. Ezekiel Tovar's a stud.
But it doesn't matter.
Well, I understand.
Lindor's known and the other guy's not.
Well,
Mookie Betts is a shortstop. Mookie Betts is a shortstop. He'd probably be an all-star. Mason Wynn arguably is having a better offensive season than Lindor.
I guarantee you, if we took 5 shortstops and just said some random ass stats, Lindor would not be the stats you're taking. But he's an all-star because his name is Francisco Lindor.
And he's going to be the only Mets all-star.
Probably. I think his value comes in the field quite a bit, so I think we need to consider that too. Offensively, he doesn't accrue the same kind of stats as Derek Jeter to, be a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. He needs to rely on his defense. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about Francisco Alvarez, so I got Francisco Alvarez's jersey. And I can't do anything with Pete Alonso's jersey until I figure out if he's going to be a Met next year. And then maybe I'll get another one. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get a Nimmo jersey.
Jonathan.
Because maybe Lindor will be 4th on my list.
I think this will end it. You know how on Baseball Reference, when you go to compare someone, it gives you 2 examples?
Yeah.
The examples that they suggest to compare Lindor to are Troy Tulowitzki and Marcus Semien.
Yeah, but that doesn't really mean much.
But that's how close their stats are. They're just because they're 0.4 off doesn't mean they're close. That's a lot. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't compare Lindor to Jeter. That is the worst take ever.
I wasn't comparing their overall careers. I was comparing their first 9 seasons.
Yeah,
which are
it's still
inarguably
0.4 off.
Inarguably close. What is 0.4 what? Expected what?
0.04 stats. Like 838 to 804, whatever Like however that shit goes, he's gonna need a lot more plate appearances to get that shit to where Jeter's was.
However that shit goes, man.
I don't know the formula for all these stats and everything, but I mean, like obviously batting average is the easiest one, right? If Jeter's hitting 320 and Lindor's hitting 280, you think that's close?
That's not the stat though.
I understand that, but I'm using it as an example. It's 0.04 off. That's not close.
0.4. Oh, 0.4
04.
off. Okay.
04. Yeah, 0.040. That's not close. He's gonna need like, I don't know, 40 out of 100 to get that up there or whatever. Like, for example, that's not easy. It's a lot more than you think.
To be honest with you, we should move off of the math segment because it's not mathing.
It's not mathing.
To
The
sum
math
it up,
ain't
he
mathing.
is on track to go into the Hall of Fame, but he has about 8 to 10 more years left to keep doing what he's somewhat doing.
He doesn't need to do what he's doing. He needs to get 20 more WAR and he'll be in the Hall of Fame. No problem.
20
Not-
more WAR. That's it.
Not first ballot.
No, not first ballot, not unanimous. We're not talking about Derek Jeter status. Talking about getting in. What you got to do is get invited to the party.
I don't know. A couple people have been invited for a while and they're still waiting.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you do steroids.
Let's hear your topic, Jonathan.
Hold up. I'm trying to do some stat searching right now. So give me 1 sec. I just want to pull one stat out and then I'll go into mine. It has to do with DRS and this year's DRS comparison with somebody. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to look at something here because we're talking about how Lindor is such a good fielder.
Let's quiz Nick. I was going to ask Nick what he thought DRS stood for.
Yeah, what is DR?
I was about to ask it, but it's defensive runs saved.
So, all right. So we talk about how good Jimmy talks about. Do you want to know his defensive runs saved this year so far? Oh, it's -1. Do you want to know Anthony Volpe's defensive runs saved this year?
3.
5.
6. Okay. So when we talk about good fielders, maybe Lindor.
Again, so this is another subjective stat where the person who's doing the scoring is like, oh yeah, that's a defensive run saved, 1. And it's like, oh yeah, that's sticky stuff, but go wash your hands for the Yankees. Oh yeah, Volpe, nope, we won't penalize you for that. That's +1 defensive run save instead of -1. It's all subjective bullshit.
So you're telling me a -6 to -1 isn't a big spread?
I don't think so. I don't think that's a big difference. That's within the means of variability for that subjective stat.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean,
man.
listen, man. That's that conversation's over. The Yankees losing 9-1 right now. So, congrats, you won your Super Bowl today. But let's go into my topic. Let's talk about. I don't know if Nick's going to be able to talk about this much because he's not a fan of either team. But what would you say is your worst moment of the Subway Series that you have seen or heard or watched?
Worst moment?
The worst moment, like I said mine earlier, which was the Luis. For Mets fans, Luis Castillo, For me, it's going to be probably tonight. Like, this is just terrible. This is the worst Subway Series game I've seen the Yankees play against the Mets. What would you say is the worst game you've seen the Mets play against the Yankees?
I would go with like more the heartbreak route. I would say that the Subway World Series was heartbreaking.
The 2000 World Series?
2000, yeah. And I think that really the most negative part of that, I think this was the series when Roger Clemens threw the half a bat at Mike Piazza.
Yep. Yeah.
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 That's got to be the worst moment in Subway Series history because who the hell would do that? Oh, Roger Clemens, right.
Well, it's on roids, so.
Yeah, just
right.
berserk, as if Piazza took the bat and like stabbed him in the chest. And he took the other half of the bat and threw it at him.
Could have ducked.
Who?
Piazza. He
Bro,
could have ducked.
thrown was unnecessary.
He could have ducked.
Stop it. He could have not thrown the bat. He could have held the bat.
Fair point. Is there anything to talk about with football?
I didn't make a trade this week.
I mean, no moves have been made.
No moves have been made. Jimmy didn't make a trade. He had a flurry of trades last week. Nothing going on this week, huh? Quiet, right?
I think it's a whole lot of wait and see.
Wait and see, right? Yeah, I mean,
Now it's just wait until the camp starts.
I think at this point I'm just watching videos here and there about like redraft. Basically, that's what I'm doing right now. Dynasty, I'm good. I'm not doing anything else. I have nothing else planned unless a waiver wire pickup comes in mind. But that's not gonna be till camp when guys start breaking out and solidifying some positions. But I'm just looking at redraft stuff right now. I don't know about you guys.
I was gonna say, do you think everybody from our league from last year is gonna be in?
I think for the most part, I don't see why not. Hopefully, it's a good year again. I could three-peat this year. That'd be pretty sick. Or maybe Jimmy finally gets over that hump this year. Maybe he does.
This team lose? How did this team not win at all?
Go ahead, read out the team for the fans. This, by the way, guys, Jimmy was the best regular season team, I think, 2 years in a row. I'm pretty sure. But go ahead, read off this team you had.
This is insane. I went 8-6 in the regular season, mind you. My team consisted of Josh Allen at quarterback, Kyron Williams, and Joe Mixon at running back. I had Amon-Ra St. Brown and Justin Jefferson at wide receiver. Okay, I just named you, 2, 4, 5 people? That's 100 points. Trey McBride at tight end, the best tight end last year. Puka Nacua at flex. I had a kicker and a defense. So how that team lost any matchups down the stretch is beyond me. I lost the semifinal. No, it would have been the game before the semifinal or whatever it was. And I lost it like 150 to 190. So I scored 100. I think I had the second most points scored that week behind him. It's just, how did that lose? And I've talked about this team so many times. Probably the best redraft team in the history of redraft teams, and it's an L. It's just a fat L. So this is why I hate dynasty football or hate fantasy football in general, because you could have the best team, you could do everything correctly, and it doesn't break your way, and you're just screwed. And then you have to tear it down in dynasty. And I imagine that's what's going to happen with me this year.
Oh, don't say that.
I imagine it's my Mets luck. It's my Giants luck that is going to rub onto my dynasty team, and I put together. I think I have the team that competes with any team in the league right now. Position 1 to position 10. I think we're start 10, right?
Yeah.
No, I think we have 12.
10. In dynasty,
I have
In Dynasty, we have 12.
10. Starting 10.
Oh, you're talking about starting players.
Yeah.
I thought you meant how many players.
It's actually 9. It's 9.
I thought you meant
so
players.
start 9. Okay.
Teams in the league.
I'll take all of my 9 against any other 9 in the league for 12 team. And I think both of you could agree that my team stacks up to anybody, but what's going to happen is I'm going to get in the playoffs and I'm going to choke, because I always do that. And it's not going to be any fault of me. So I didn't do anything. It's just going to be how it happens.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know.
Jimmy.
You're like, you have like the Cubs curse, or you just have a curse for some reason. And until you break that curse, it's gonna suck, man. Gonna suck.
I think
in all honesty, yeah, go ahead.
I will say that once you get one win, it's not going to be your only one.
I was just gonna say, I think once I learn how to win, once I become a dog and win something, it's just gonna continue.
I'm a certified dog. Back to back.
I still have no clue how Jonathan came in first and he barely made the playoffs.
7-7 finish, and I won the league. And I told them I would win back to back, and I'm going to three-peat. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm a fucking three-peat.
I'm actually sure that you told us that I think you were like 1-6, and you were like, I'm going to win like 6 out of my next 7 or something like that, make the playoffs, and then win out.
And what
like you just had that dog in you that Jimmy's been searching for the last 26 years.
Although I want to put our teams in a thing real quick, and I want to see what our picks would be this year. Hold up, this will be interesting. Hold up.
So
you're able to predict, I guess you could say, how your season's gonna go?
No.
What do you mean, like what our picks would be? Oh, you're talking about like a randomizer.
Yeah, I want to see what it would look like if I do a quick randomizer.
I think redraft. I mean, we talked about this a lot last week, but I think it's going to be interesting in the first round.
Why?
Because I think people are just going to sleep on players that should be higher.
I agree. I think there's going to be a lot of great value in the second round. I mean, even in like the dynasty draft, there was a ton of great value in the second round. I think a lot of people are going with names, and they don't realize like you can get great value in the second round. That's why like I love the 9th or 10th pick, because then you get that wraparound, and you can either have like two of the best receivers in the league, or a good receiver and a good running back, or QB1 and wide receiver one. Like, I love the snake picks, like that's, in my opinion, the best picks.
So what would you rather have 1 through 10 going into this year?
This year, I hate having the first overall pick. Too much pressure, because if you draft someone and they bust, you're fucked. I hate being in the middle. Back into the draft.
I think pick number 2 is the worst spot in the draft. We're the best. And here's why. I think the top 2 players are going to be CeeDee Lamb and CMC. So I think whoever takes CMC at 1, and the second pick becomes the best pick in the draft. If CeeDee Lamb's taken, CMC, now the second pick becomes a worse pick in the draft, because you have to take him. Like, you can't just leave CMC on the board for 3 and take like the second best wide receiver there.
I'm nervous with the Madden cover curse. I'm nervous.
I don't know why, but I feel like 7 through 9 this year is going to be good.
I'm fine 7 through 9. Even like 10. I would love 10. 10's where I want to be. I don't want to be 1. I like 10. I don't want to be 1. I don't want to be 2. I don't want to be 3. I don't want to be 4. I don't want to be 5. 7, 8 through 10. I like 8 through 10.
So did you do your randomizer?
Yeah, I was the first overall pick.
What were we?
I just did the first pick, and it was my name. Jimmy's was right next to mine. It almost went to him, but it was me. I hope I'm not the first overall pick. But yeah, I mean, listen, we'll see soon. The league's going to start coming together. I got to figure out who's in it. It's still June 25th, so we still got about, a month and a half before we really get shit together and redraft. But yeah, I mean, it's coming up, so start doing some research, fellas. I know Nick likes to wait till last minute, but guys, listen, we got a really special week this week, man. We're going to be celebrating my man Jimmy, so reach out, congratulate him. He's his wedding week, baby. His wedding week, baby. But yeah, it's going to be a great week. Great week, and very excited to celebrate his wedding. It's going to be awesome, and I know he's going to have a great time, because we're going to make sure he has a great time, because that's what the groomsmen are for, Make sure it goes smooth and make sure he has a great time. And that's what we're going to do. And yeah, we appreciate you guys. We will be back Tuesday. No, we won't be back Tuesday. Jimmy will not be available. So we will be taking just 1 week off, right? 2 weeks off. He glitched. 2 weeks off, right?
Yeah,
I was shaking my head, yes.
That's going to lead us to about a week before the All-Star break.
So we will be taking 2 weeks off. Jimmy will be, doing his wedding duties afterwards. So we will not be recording. So we will miss you guys, but it'll give us some time to have some more fresh content and have a little more to talk about instead of going around in circles. But we appreciate you guys. We will talk to you soon. If you listen to the end of this, congratulate Jimmy. We'll catch you on the next episode. Peace out.